And we are back and we are live. This is on the sevens with Pi Frisbee Metatron, where we do come to awaken, ascend, and expand. I am Pi Frisbee Metatron, your hostess with the mostest. And today, you guys do know the drill. Today is a very great day to be me. You know, every day are very great days to be me. I believe this, I live this, I be this, and I require this. So, however, and wherever you may be listening or watching this broadcast or a replay, I want you to just center yourself, ground yourself. If you can, look in a mirror. If you can, look in your phone, look in your camera, look somewhere, and repeat this after me. Today is a very great day to be me. You know, every day are very great days to be me. I believe this, I live this, I be this, and I require this. And I guarantee you, you make this mantra a part of your daily regimen, and then you go about doing those things that reciting that mantra and believing it will motivate. I guarantee you this, your life gets better exponentially each and every day. As always, I'm thankful and grateful for everyone that is here, taking time out of your busy schedule to come hang out with PB Metatron here at On the Sevens. And I am grateful and thankful for being able, not willing, being able to be here on this day. I'm going to jump straight into the class. Got a lot of information to cover today, so we will just jump right into it. This is Mastered Self, Natural Health and Healing. Today is May 11th, 2023. This is our 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time regularly scheduled program. Today, class, and today's topics: understanding of the 12 universal laws. Understanding of the 12 universal laws. Now, before I get into the material that I prepared, it doesn't matter if you have knowledge of the laws, if you feel or believe that you know them, if you've been exposed to them, that's fine and dandy. We're coming today to get an inner standing of the 12 universal laws. We're going to go a little bit deeper than just the surface. And it is my desire that we will make plain some of the confusing mysteries surrounding these laws. So today is the understanding of the 12 universal laws. All right. Whether you know it or not, our reality is driven by fixed laws that determine the physical nature of the world we live in. You cannot change them, and they are affecting everything we do. You can continue through life oblivious to these laws, or you can start to understand them and utilize them to your advantage. I want to say right now that those that sit in powerful and elite seats and positions, and those that seem to always be in an advantageous position, guarantee they know and abide by and use these 12 laws that I'm getting ready to go over to their utmost advantage. A universe is a system of energy. Our universe, the universe, is a system of energy. And it is a system of energy appearing as physical matter. So the universe part of this is our system of energy and of that energy appearing as physical matter. Now, a law is an existing condition that is binding, immutable, fixed, and cannot be changed. Remember that when we get down a little further. Let me repeat that again. A law is an existing condition that is binding, immutable, fixed, and cannot be changed. It just is what it is. Now, the 12 universal laws are the set of natural, non-man-made, and immutable conditions that determine how reality and consequence operate within the realm that humans exist in, that we exist in here on 3D. So the 12 universal laws are the set of natural, non-man-made, and immutable conditions that determine how reality and consequence operate within the realm that we live in right now. When I tell folks that I follow a law that's a little higher than man's law, they always look at me nutty. But this is what I'm talking about. I follow these 12, and in me following these 12, I'm in line with the majority of man's law anyway. I said majority because some of man's law is horse bleep. There are two types of law that naturally exist and function together to create our reality and impact our experience here on planet Earth. Universal law is just one of them. Natural law is the other. And natural law will be its own class. I just wanted to bring awareness to the two types of law that naturally exist. Any other thing that claims to be a law is not. Period. That's another show as well. All right. The 12 universal laws determine the nature and characteristics of energy in the physical reality we experience here. Natural law determines natural human morals, rights, values, and responsibilities through natural human actions and behavior within this reality. So the law, the criminal code, so to speak, is attempting to do a better job than what natural law already does. And because of the criminal code and all of the nuances that go on with that, folks negate the natural law, negate their natural morals, negate their natural rights, negate their natural values, and negate their natural responsibilities and go into chaos. Some folks refer to man's law as chaos. I just refer to it as legal law. Natural law determines natural human morals. Then I didn't have to be told certain things on a moral value when I was a kid. Natural law determines natural human rights. No man or a government can give to me or to you what you already naturally have. All man can do is take away or attempt to take away the natural rights that each of us come here with every time we incarnate. Natural law determines natural human morals, rights, values, and responsibilities through natural human actions and behavior. We all know when we see something that ain't right, regardless if you condone the shit or not, we all know through our own natural human actions and behaviors what is fair and what ain't, what is evil and what's not. We don't need anyone to point it out. In addition, humans have created their laws, which are subjective, can be changed. So technically, they're not even laws. They're suggestions. They're parameters. They're directives of suggestions of behavior not to do. Human or legal law determines actual human morals, rights, values, and responsibilities through human-made systems and regulations. And we all know that human-made systems and regulations are flawed because of the first part of that, human. So we can already see how human or legal law is already going to start messing with natural law. Now, human and legal law came with universal law, but those are two different planes of existence. And universal law will allow human or legal law to do what it's due as long as we, the collective, allow it. Because the universe is going to give the collective what the collective believes, what the collective desires, till the collective say they want something else. We're beginning to see in various parts of the planet where the collective, the segregated part of the collective in each of these little spots are saying they want something different. And we're beginning to see the beginning rumbles of a real movement along those lines here in America. Any comments, any questions? All right. All right. Our universe is just one reality and one part of the infinite consciousness. The 12 universal laws are like an agreement between aspects of source consciousness as to how a particular aspect of reality will benefit the aspects of source that choose to experience it. So in other words, the 12 laws are aspects of source, creator, God, whatever you want to refer to it as. Those 12 laws are the essence of that creation that is in agreement with the consciousness that we participate in on how any and every particular aspect of this reality is going to benefit the aspects of source creator and yourself, because you're part of source creator, I'm part of source creator, that chose to experience it. We chose this. See what I'm saying? We that chose to incarnate from source consciousness, from those aspects that are in agreement with source as to how any part of our reality will benefit source and the aspects, us, that choose to experience, all of us that have incarnated. The 12 universal laws are a set of unique conditions that governs Earth's physical experience and reality in the third and fourth dimensions. Before coming here, all souls who come to Earth agree to these universal laws as a unique experience. We get briefed, we get not a debriefing, a pre-briefing. Just a checklist, and we go through a whole bunch of stuff. We have a soul contract. Is most of all of our damn faults that we don't read the soul contract. That might be why in this incarnation I have read every word of any contract I've ever signed. I'm not just, oh yeah, you know, it says the regular stuff. Just nope. No, not gonna do it. Before coming here, all souls who come to Earth agree to these universal laws as a unique experience. These conditions constrain all souls who come to Earth, though. These conditions constrain all of us because, and I have this theory, before we exit Mom's portal, I believe the memories and the record of our entirety as a being, as a soul, as a source of energy is on a big picture frame, big mirror, so to speak, and everything that we have ever been and everything that we had ever experienced and all of our memories are with us until we exit that portal and get shaken or blown on or whatever, and we start to cry. And the reason why I believe babies cry when they get here is because that picture frame, that mirror, so to speak, of all of those memories and all your past lives and everything you are and everything that you are intending and purpose to do in this incarnation, it shatters right when you take that breath. And then it is our soul's journey to reassemble the shattered pieces so that we can see clearly who we are, who we've been, who we're going to be, and what precisely we came here to do. However, human beings are ethereal or energetic beings who come to Earth within a physical body. These laws can provide opportunities for new experiences as well as challenges. In other parts of infinite consciousness, energy will function differently to create different realities for different experiences. The 12 universal laws exist and operate regardless of whether human beings exist, regardless whether human beings believe them to be true or want them to be true. We can only begin to know and understand these laws in our human form by observation, personal experience, and research. There's much debate about how many universal laws there are. There is also much confusion about what is universal and natural law, and they often become intertwined. For our purposes, we are considering the laws and conditions that govern the physical reality outside of us, rather than the laws that determine human behavior, which I refer to as natural law. These labels are purely one way of categorizing so our human minds can understand these different concepts. Any comments, any questions? All right, I'll move along. There is frequent reference to 3, 7, 12, or 20 universal laws, and sometimes even more. Many ancient and modern texts attempt to describe or explain these laws. Objectively, Source knows the universal laws and how many they are, as Source created them. So it don't matter how many I think they are, it doesn't matter how many you think there are, it don't matter how many anybody thinks there are. Source knows the universal laws and how many they are, as Source created them. Now, there are 12 widely accepted primary universal laws that we will consider here today. Again, if your research brings back 1,000 of them, hook a brother up with the other 988, please. If your research only you get to 3 or 7, then discard. And if I got 3 of them in there and the other 9 don't matter to you, then discard them. Always take whatever I present for you as one option, one perspective, one theory. Go do your own research. I encourage you to do that anyway. Don't have to, please don't automatically just accept anything that I say as the truth. I could be up here being full of shit. Do your research. Whatever I tell you, check it out. Go check it out. Go research it on your own. Get your own resonance with this. I am providing a first start, an initial step, a push. This should push you into your own research. All right. However, many more physical conditions in our reality could be regarded as secondary universal laws or subsets of these primary laws. The number is not essential, as it is just a way of attempting to sort and understand these conditions of reality that we are living within. For the purposes of how the 12 universal laws can and do influence our natural health and healing, we can start to understand and focus on the 12 universal laws and how they appear in our reality, as well as how they influence and affect our natural health and healing. This following is a very brief introduction into each law. They can all be delved into further to understand and master their application in your own life. And that definitely is something that I encourage each and every one of you to do if you are so led. All right. In no particular order, the law of divine oneness, or sometimes referred to as mentalism. Everything is interconnected through a field of energy and affects everything else. Let me repeat that. Everything, all the people, all the vehicles, all the animals, all the bugs, all the plants, water, everything inside of this atmosphere is interconnected. We all connected to everybody on the planet through a field of energy and affects everything else. Just put a check mark in the chat box if you have heard of and know the concept of 6 degrees of separation, that we are all, everybody on this planet are 6 degrees separated. What that means is I know a person, 1, that knows a person, 2, that knows a person, 3, that knows a person, 4, that knows a person, 5, that knows Denzel Washington. I mean, personally. You know what I mean? This person, somewhere along these 6, knows him personally. So what that means, let's take it even deeper. So now everybody that knows me knows Denzel, because I know a person that knows him. And everybody along these 6 lines, everybody that knows this person knows Denzel. Everybody knows this person knows Denzel. This one, this one, this one. Guess what? By the time it extrapolates all the way out on its natural cycle of mathematical pattern, it covers everybody on the planet. Any comments, any questions about that?
I just want to say I actually know somebody personally that knows Denzel, so it's really funny that she say that.
Bam.
Like literally know somebody personally that knows him.
Bam, bam, bam.
Knows the wife and the kid and everything. So yeah.
Absolutely. Bam. So under the law of oneness, where everything is interconnected, understanding of universal laws means we can consciously start creating our own reality. Under the law of oneness, where everything is interconnected, understanding of these laws that I'm going to break out today means we can consciously start creating our own reality through our thoughts, actions, emotions, and behaviors. Everything in the universe is an extension of source energy, which means nothing is separate on a spiritual level. I tell folks all the time, you want to connect with Archangel Michael, you want, just go into meditation and call out. You don't need no help. You can contact any of the entities, any of the spiritual angles, the archangels. They're not angels, they're angles, but okay. Any of them. Your ancestors, you can contact them and reach out and talk to them anytime you want, because nothing is separate on a spiritual level. Divine oneness means everything in the universe is intimately connected. Everything, intimately connected. Everything is a single total field of energy. Let me repeat that. Everything, all up in the universe, but let's break it down to the atmosphere here on this planet. Everything in the atmosphere of this planet is a single, meaning one. It's not a bunch of them, it's one. Total, meaning complete field of energy. People describe this energy as God, source, creator, whatever, it doesn't matter. Or, nerds and brainiacs might call it a quantum field. Don't matter, however. Doesn't matter if you want to call it God, source, creator, or you want to go quantum. Doesn't matter, because the principle is the same. But that, however you look at this, the principle is the same. You who's listening and watching this, you and everything you experience are part of the same one, whole, everybody, complete, nothing lacking system. And there is nothing that's apart or detached or disconnected or on its own or by itself of this energy. Nothing. And that's the law of divine oneness, mentalism. Any comments, any questions? All right. All right. The law of vibration. Everything in the universe moves and vibrates on a continuum or spectrum. Under the law of vibration, where everything moves and vibrates as energy, we can start to understand in this physical experience here on earth. Everything in and of this world, tangible and intangible, is made up of energy that is vibrating at its own rate, speed, time, and frequency. These are fingernail clippers. They seem like they are an inanimate object made out of steel, and it's no soul to it, wasn't birthed by nothing, no life and all that. It has an energy to it and its own vibration, and it vibrates at its own rate, speed, and time and frequency, even if I can't see it. Yeah. Let me ask y'all a question. Y'all ever put something down like your fingernail files or your remote or your keys or your glasses, and you come back and they're not right there, and you know good and damn well where you put it? And then you walk somewhere, or maybe it's on the other side of the table, and you know you put it on this side. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I won't record the inside of my room when I'm asleep, because I don't want to see what the hell be going on in here, man. Because I know sometimes I wake up and shit is all over the place. Been moved. Under the law of vibration, where everything moves and vibrates as energy, we can start to understand in this physical experience here on earth that everything in and of this world, everything tangible and intangible, is made up of energy that is vibrating at its own rate, speed, time, and frequency. Everything you experience is an exact match to your vibration and frequency. Everything. As you shift your vibration and frequency, your experience of the world and everything in and of it changes. As you begin to experience events, happenings, circumstances, and situations presently and purposefully at your new level of consciousness. Law of vibration is what you admit as far as vibration, as far as energy, as far as frequency, you attract. And no matter what, no matter how you attempt to mask or shield with your outer appearance, whatever your inner vibration and frequency is, that's what it is. Everything moves and vibrates on a continuum or spectrum. Nothing stops. Nothing stops. As soon as something stops on this planet, that's death. That's death. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all ever pay attention to houses that folks move out of and no one moves in there for a while? You ever notice how the paint starts to peel in your yard? And it's because there's no life in there to give the house life. You can live in a house and the house can be built across the street from you years after your house, and somebody moves out and don't move in for a year or two, and that house will look worse than yours. Yours will look better than that house. because that's the law of vibration. The house is empty, so there's nothing. It's not attracting anything. It's not attracting life. Any comments? Any questions? Law of vibration. All right. The law of inspired action. Action must be applied to create any and everything in this physical realm. So contrary to any fairy tales anybody has been told, can't just dream and something happen. You can't just wish and something happen. Can't just think and something happen. It's good to be intentional. It's good to write your affirmations. It's good to be on your mantras. However, action must be applied to create any and everything in this physical realm. You want your healing, you have to take action. You can't just think about it. You have to take action. You want to reclaim your peace. Well, you're not going to get it just by thinking about it. There's some actions that have to take place. Anything that we choose to do, there's an action. The action of choosing is an action. Y'all see what I mean? Action must be applied to create any and everything in this physical realm. Under the law of action, we understand that we must be an active participant in creating our reality. Now, we probably all know a few folks that ain't a bit more concerned about being an active participant in creating no reality, or at least they think they aren't, but their attitudes, actions, beliefs, and words are actually doing that. We, those of us that are on the spiritual evolutionary tip, we already understand the law of action naturally, that we understand that we must be an active participant in creating our reality. Our actions are always inspired by our current vibration and frequency. You feeling funky, you ain't want to do nothing, but you feeling vibrant, and yeah, you're going to want to do something. You feeling funky, you're going to give funky action. You feeling inspired, you're going to give inspired action. You feeling, that's the action that you give. The action depends upon our mindset, how we thinking, our emotional willingness, are we willing to take a chance, willing to take a risk. Our excitement, is this, like I said, is this something that I'm like, woo about, or I'm just like, oh, yeah, really? And on our belief in the desired results. Now, believing in desired results is different than attempting to orchestrate desired results. And what I mean by that is this: I have a desired result for my software project. I do have a desired result, and I believe that when I finish the project, I will receive my desired result. Now, how that desired result is interpreted and returned to me by the universe, I've taken my hands off of that. That part doesn't matter to me. I have a belief that once I complete my portion of the project, that I will receive the desired result. Thus, I fall into the law of inspired action. Any comments? If you don't do nothing, you ain't gonna get nothing. Next up, law of correspondence. The universe is holographic and is self-similar across all scales. What exists in one realm being slash entity or thing exists in all worlds, realms, beings slash entities or things. What exists here exists in all the worlds. And what exists in all the worlds exists here. Under the law of correspondence, we must understand that we are multi-dimensional beings that exist perpetually and simultaneously with the past, present, and future all at the same time, all at once. Under the law of correspondence, we must understand that we are multi-dimensional beings that exist perpetually. That means forever, and simultaneously. That means your past lives are still going somewhere and future lives are already going somewhere. With the past, my past lives, your past lives, present, this incarnation, and right now, right this up to this moment, and future, everything that happens after a moment. All at the same time. Our external reality is a direct reflection of our internal state. How we feel on the inside is how on the outside of our shit be looking, and how we look to folks. This law makes it easy to assess the alignment of our vibration. This is the law that represents the concept and belief of as above, so below, and as within, so without. We always hear about as above, so below. Folks don't talk about the within and the without, because that's a little deeper concept. Because they hang on to as above, so below, because they think, from God to the earth. But as within, from inside of you, so without, to the outside of you. Can't get hung up on man's definition of certain words. We have to look at the esoterical meanings. As within, as inside of you, or as within the big same whole complete energy of source, law of oneness, as within it, inside you, so without, outside of you. It means you are created with universal energy and consciousness. And as a part of this energy and consciousness, you have the ability to command and impress upon it. Being part of this universal energy and consciousness means you can command and impress upon it. I think that's what some of the writers in the Bible were talking about when they say go boldly to the throne of grace and make your requests and supplications known. That's why I don't beg in my affirmations. And I don't ask the universe for anything as if I am lacking. I affirm as above, so below, as within, so without. Another way to think about this law is through patterns. Repeated at various and different levels. Those are the different timelines and the different dimensions, different simultaneous incarnations. Just like a fractal, and think mathematics when I'm talking about fractals. On the macro level, The distribution of the fractal creates a large cohesive structure, while the pattern is repeated at smaller and smaller levels perpetually. So you see, it's the spiral that goes this way while it's moving forward, while it is constricting, because as you ascend, the place that you go to is smaller than the place you came from. So that's why we have to purge and release and heal, because once we purge, release, and heal, then in the fractal creates a large cohesive structure while the pattern is repeated. Those patterns in our life repeat, but at a smaller level, because we have worked through the roughest, toughest, harmful, hurtful parts of the pattern. So when we have worked through those, by working through our trauma, working through our pain, working through our disappointments, working through and healing all of that, we shorten the length of the pattern that is repeated. And that's a good thing. Any comments, any questions about the law of correspondence? Nope. All right. My favorite one is up next, the law of cause and effect. I always, I didn't know that this is the stance that I took when I was about 16 years old, but yeah, I can verbalize it now. I am the cause and everything else is the effect. I would rather be the cause than the effect. You guys will get that when you go into meditation. The law of cause and effect. Nothing happens randomly or by chance. We create our reality consciously and unconsciously, as the energy of our every thought, action, word, deed, emotion, and behavior have an effect or consequence of the same vibration and frequency as that which created it. So if I am over here ruminating on, I want to do some violence to somebody, or I'm ruminating on, I want to do something that is on the evil side or wicked side or anything like that, yeah, I go out and do that. However, my reality, I'm creating a reality that's going to bring back to me an effect or consequence of the same vibration and frequency. So if I'm thinking evil and nasty, I'm going to get evil and nasty back as that which created it. Under the law of cause and effect, we can consciously consider the outcomes of various actions and inactions and take responsibility for what we create in the world, as well as for the consequences of those creations. Let me repeat that. Under the law of cause and effect, we can consciously consider the outcomes of various actions and inactions. Consider them before we take the action or before we don't do nothing, because we have to then take responsibility for what we create in the world. And then a little further, got to take, we have to receive the consequence of anything that we've created. I've been locked up behind bars. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 times in my 60 years and a couple of months on this planet. I have been I've had my freedom restricted by handcuffs and bars 4 times that I can remember. And every time I ended up with my freedom restricted, it was a consequence and an effect of a cause I launched. I guess I am fortunate in this sense that I'm a melanated man in America that hasn't been pulled over and said I fit a description or anything like that. Quite the contrary. I have had some pretty okay interactions with every law enforcement that I've come in contact with, and only because I've always inherently lived by this. If it's some shit that I did that I knew I was taking a chance that if I got caught, I was going to go to jail. If it's something I did, then when you come to get me, I'm coming out. If I have a warrant and you pull me over, I'm not going to run. I did the shit. I was big enough to do. I was big enough to launch the cause. I have to be okay and accept responsibility for the effect. Under the law of cause and effect, we can consciously consider the outcomes of various actions and inactions. Now, because of them 4 times, maybe 5 times, I had my freedom restricted. I'm not doing shit to even have to even deal with law enforcement. Nothing. If I get a ticket, I pay it. When it's time for registration, I pay it. Insurance, I pay it. I'm not going to steal nothing. I ain't going to, I'm just not. I have changed my behavior so that I don't even have that option, that cause, that effect, and that consequence won't even come. For every cause, there's an effect. In life, our thinking is the cause. And our experiences are the effects of our thinking. Let me say that again. In life, during any incarnation, our thinking is the cause. And our experiences, our realities are the effects of our thinking. Every effect has a preceding cause. However, most people think of this law in terms of purely physical action and never consider the energetic implications of cause and effect. It's more than just, I punch you, you punch me back. It's more than, I steal your apple, you steal my goat. It's more than just that. Much more. There are energetic implications, and cause and effect is more like a ocean that is still, and then the cause, I throw a rock into the ocean. Well, there's a ripple that starts that will never end. Even if the water has a barrier around it that contains it, once the ripple that I start at this end gets to the other end of that barrier, the other end of the barrier is going to bounce it back to me. And then once it gets back to where I'm at, I'm going to receive the recompense of it, but it's going to bounce off of me and go backwards again. Every cause is like throwing a pebble in that water, and those ripples go back and forth, back and forth. When we talk about this in spiritual terms, it often invokes the idea of karma. Every intention you have, every intention I have, every intention anyone has releases energy and will definitely return to you, return to me in like manner and kind. Law of cause and effect. All right. Law of compensation. You get what you give. You reap what you sow. And what goes out always comes back in. Somebody made a song back in the 60s or early 70s. What goes up must come down. Spinning wheels got to go round. Yeah. 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 Now, because we are under the divine law of oneness, a lot of times you receive back not exactly what you gave, and you may sow something different than you reaped. The plant that comes out of the ground might be different than the seed that you put in there. And whatever you sent out will come back, but it might come back in a different form, but it's coming. Under the law of compensation, we can begin to understand and consider our communities and fellow human beings, as well as understand that our actions, reactions, and inactions have a direct correlation to what we receive back. What we give to others shall be given to us, and what we withhold from others will be withheld from us. Being very similar to the law of cause and effect, the law of compensation states that you get what you give. If you give constant negativity, you'll receive negative energy in return. While most people assume that compensation has to do with money, however, it can and does come in many, many more forms. Each of us has an energetic set point for every aspect in our life, and we are constantly emitting and receiving life situations, associations, circumstances, events, and happenings according to that energy. So if we are in situations or have associations, or have circumstances, events, and happenings that are not desirable, we have to check our own vibration, our own frequency, our own thoughts, because the law of compensation says we get what we give. So it may not be the actual thing that someone gives. It must be the intent and purpose behind it. Any comments? Any questions? Law of compensation. All right. Law of attraction. Like energies, positive and negative, across spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, and ethereal realms attract. That is the superficial premise of the law of attraction. Actually, our inner realm at our soul core level determines the level at which we vibrate and attract any and everything into our outer world and in our lives. Under the law of attraction, we understand that who we truly believe we are, not just who we say, what we truly, at the soul level, believe and know we need, and everything we truly, at the soul level, believe and know we do not need, all manifests according to our true vibration and frequency. We could say thus and such, bloop, 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 bloop. We can affirm thus and such, bloop, 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 bloop. Soul core knows truly who you are. Soul core knows truly what you need. And soul core truly knows what you don't need. That soul core is your true vibration and frequency, not the vibration and frequency of the different roles that many of us take on, but just you in your birthday suit. No roles, no agendas, no meetings, just you. That's your true vibration and frequency. Our energy is constantly attracting things that are a vibrational match to it. This is one of the most referenced, known, and frequently misinterpreted universal law. You see, it is more than just thinking about wanting something and then receiving it. It's not how it works. It is the law of corresponding energy, meaning that we attract what we are vibrating, which can be different than what we say we want. Y'all get that? It is the law of corresponding energy, meaning that we attract what we are vibrating from the soul core level, which can be different than what we say we want. Ego wants shit that the soul be like, nah, dog, I'm good. Ego be like, okay. My ego used to win every one of them battles. Ego don't win no battles no more. It is the law of corresponding energy, meaning that we attract what we are vibrating in, which can be different than what we say we want. It operates in conjunction with the law of vibration and works to bring you situations, associations, circumstances, events, happenings, and manifestations according to the energy, vibration, and frequency you emit. What you are at your soul level is what you get, regardless of what you say. Any comments? All right. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Energy is constantly, consistently, and perpetually in motion and changing form. That's why we can incarnate here with our energy source and fill up this skin suit, this dirt suit of humanity. And then on other planes of existence, have a different outer shell, so to speak, a different vehicle to plug into, a different vehicle to power. Nothing is permanent and everything is temporary. Nothing here is permanent. Nothing in this universe is permanent. Everything is temporary. Under the law of perpetual transmutation of energy, we understand that forward motion, change, and evolution is a constant and that everything we experience is real, if only in a present moment. And that it will progress, change, and or evolve. Under the law of perpetual transmutation of energy, we understand that forward motion, change, and evolution is a constant, and that everything we experience is real, if only in a present moment, and that it will progress, change, and or evolve. Energy is constantly evolving or fluctuating. This law is about the ability to remain in a constant state of flow. Energy changes constantly, whether you're talking about shifts at a subatomic level or subtle variations in your mood, quote unquote, your vibration, as you go about your day. This law has many positive implications because it means that you have the ability to transform your energy instantly, should you choose to do so. Law of perpetual transmutation of energy. All right, next up, the law of relativity. This one kind of jumped all over me when I was writing this up, because I have to check myself about this. So I'm grateful. Everything we experience as individuals and collectively is only made real by making comparisons to something else. I know this chair is real because, first of all, I've sat in it many times, and I've built, my trust in that it is a chair. It is what it says it is, what it was described to be. It has fulfilled that. And I do know it's a chair by comparing it to the floor over here. And if I get out of this chair and sit my ass on the floor, I'm going to know the difference very quick. Very quick. So this chair is real to me because of what I know the floor will feel like if I sit my ass on that. Y'all feel what I'm saying about that? All right. Under the law of relativity, we understand that everything is tangible as compared to everything else. And because, and this is the key here, we all collectively believe it. Under the law of relativity, we understand that everything is tangible as you compare it to everything else. This is real, this is real, this is real, this is real, I'm real, you're real. Compare yourself to me, compare fingernail clippers to scissors. Yeah. However, also, everything is tangible because we collectively believe it. Everything is relative because we all perceive reality in our own unique way. This is a suggestion for each of us on this call and anybody listening to this. And this was the part that hit me right in my gut. Practice prioritizing the attainment of inner peace and inner bliss over defending the truth, because the truth is relative. I've been walking around my whole life with this shield up in defense of truth. And recently I began to realize that the truth is relative, man. What's true for me is true for me. And folks who think, feel, and believe something opposite, that's truth for them. It's not for me to judge whose truth is better to believe in. It's for me to allow them to have their truth just like I have mine. Practice prioritizing the attainment of inner peace and inner bliss over defending the truth, because the truth is relative. This is a law of non-judgment. Everything we experience is inherently neutral. When we judge things as good or bad, we restrict our ability to step back and observe the experience from a neutral perspective. To practice this, remember that your entire experience of the world is seasoned and colored by your beliefs. Everyone acts according to their own experiences and beliefs, which means you cannot judge another person's actions, because you can never have a full and complete understanding of their history and motivation for thinking, acting, speaking, feeling, or believing in that way or any way they choose. Whew. Law of relativity. Yeah. Surface part of it is okay for most of us. It's getting to this non-judgmental part, because we make judgments daily, all day long, man. We make judgments, and it is difficult to stay in the neutral observer state. It's difficult. We got emotions, we got feelings, we're human, we're sensitive. That's why it says practice prioritizing the attainment of inner peace and inner bliss over defending the truth, because the truth is relative. Any comments, any questions? Oh, all right. Next up, the law of polarity or duality. Everything exists on a continuum or spectrum between opposites and can be moved or changed. Under the law of polarity, we understand that there are no hard rights or hard wrongs, and that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Again, under the law of polarity, we understand that there are no set in stone right things to do and no set in stone wrong things to do. No hard rights and no hard wrongs. And that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Right and wrong are the extremes of whatever you are judging. Say if it's behavior is in the middle where my head is, and right could be on the left and wrong could be on the right. And there are degrees from the middle, the degrees that you have to get to wrong, and degrees you have to get to right. Everything we experience in life has an equal and opposite experience. For every problem, there is a solution. I believe that, I live that, I bees that, I know that. And for this one right here, I know this for a fact too. And for every obstacle, there is an opportunity. Everything we experience in life has an equal and opposite experience. For every problem, there's a solution, and for every obstacle, there is an opportunity. This is the law that allows you to experience the world as you do, your own personal and unique version of planet Earth. Even though the universe at large exists in a state of oneness, which is non-duality, Our experience of the world is inherently dualistic. We feel hot and cold. We sense good and bad. We can see the difference between north and south. And it is the experience of these opposites that allow us to appreciate life. One cannot ever enjoy and desire without first having known the absence of that desire. Let me repeat that. One cannot ever enjoy and desire without first having known the absence of that desire. This contrast, though we often interpret it in negative terms, is a powerful tool we can use to appreciate every aspect of life more fully and authentically. Law of polarity. The law of rhythm. Everything moves, cycles, and shifts from one end or polarity of the spectrum to the other and repeats this cycle constantly and continuously. Everything moves. We move, plants move, the planet moves, universe moves, stars move, everything moves. There's cycles to everything that's up under this dome, up under this atmosphere. And there are shifts. Everything moves, cycles, and shifts from one end or polarity of the spectrum to the other, and repeats this cycle constantly and continuously. Under the law of rhythm, we understand the cosmic flow of energies and entities and how the cycles of our lives continuously repeat throughout our lifetime. Cycles are a natural part of the universe. Just as the earth has 4 seasons or cycles, our lives have seasons and cycles as well. Everything in nature, from our own mood fluctuations to the cycles of the seasons, to the ebb and flow of the ocean and the tide, and the spirals of the galaxies, occurs in cycles. As we accept this fact, we open ourselves up to moving more in harmony with these cycles. We need to begin to step back and see that there is a time for action as well as the time for inaction. As we begin to accept more freely and stop attempting to force action when the time is not right. A lot of us fall prey to that. You know, we believe or we sense or feel in ourselves that I've been sitting down long enough, or I haven't done this much, or I haven't done any work on this or that. And we feel that we have to force, we have to jumpstart something. Law of rhythm says everything has seasons and cycles, and there are time for action and time for inaction. Tapping into the law of rhythm will let yourself off the hook from beating your own self up for any times of inaction. And the law of rhythm will actually allow you to enjoy the time of inaction and get exactly what you need out of it. All right. And then finally, for this discussion, the law of gender. Now, it is what it is. Everything in this universe has feminine and masculine energies that must balance. Everything. Under the law of gender, we understand that neither energy can survive on its own in and of itself. Let me stop right there. Let me repeat that. Under the law of gender, we understand that neither energy, divine masculine, divine feminine, feminine or masculine energy, can survive on its own in and of itself, and that there must be a balance of both to live a balanced existence. Life works best when our divine feminine and masculine energies are in alignment. This is another experience in contrast. This law refers to two primary types of energy, feminine and masculine, active and passive, yin, yang, Shiva and Shakti. As we evolve our individual levels of awareness, we can learn to balance these contrasting energetic states within us. It takes, it may take a few incarnations to evolve enough, our individual level of awareness to truly have these two energies balanced. Any comments, any questions on the law of gender? All right. Now that we understand what the 12 universal laws are, it's time to start applying them to our lives. Working with these laws is a gradual process. It takes practice and experience to live in accordance with them consistently. And mastering them can be a lifelong process for anyone. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the understanding of the 12 universal laws. Any comments, any questions, any comments, any questions? You can open your mic and speak on up if you do. Nope. All right. It was great to be here today. And if there will be nothing else, this has been On the Sevens with Pi-Frisbee Metatron, where we come to awaken, ascend, and expand. We have gone through the 88 steps into our master self. We constantly go over them. And I guarantee you, if you make On the Sevens with Pi-Frisbee Metatron a part of your soul's journey, somewhere along the way, your master self awaits you. I appreciate everyone that watches my YouTube channel, while you're at my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, go over to that bell where the notification button is, hit that top one so that you'll get a notification every time I go live. Like my video and share it with at least one friend. That way we get this message out organically. Whenever I say goodbye, it never means forever. It just means until our next scheduled program, which will be next Tuesday. So until Tuesday, I wish everyone peace, bliss, joy, and until I see you again, peace. Ciao. Goodbye for now.
Good night.